Let's talk about some potential first-round selections for the Chiefs in the draft. Mahomes and Kelce playing in a golf event over the weekend and quite possibly winning the whole thing. DeSean Jackson naming the Chiefs as a potential landing spot for the next season and much more. But first, how about those? What's up, everybody? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Chiefs, my favorite team in the world and the NFL overall. So make sure to sub if you're new, hit that like button, and let's get into this news. And I want to start out by diving into an answer that Brett Veach recently gave at his presser that I didn't have time to talk about in yesterday's video without that thing getting too long. He was asked about a specific wide receiver profile that they are prioritizing in the draft, with Tyreek Hill being gone, even after or with the additions of Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster. And here is his answer.
I guess on one end, it's very hard to replicate, a talent like Tyreek Hill. Would you like to find someone like Tyreek? Yeah, but I think every team would. If you don't, there's many ways to win games, and our offense, I think, is extremely flexible, and I think a lot more flexible than what people think. And we're going to go out there and collect good players, and they might not be 4-2 guys, but if they're good football players, we're going to put them in position to make plays and win a lot of games.
He said a couple things here worth pointing out. The offense is more flexible than a lot of people think. And then when mentioning players in the draft, he said they may not be 4-2 guys, but if they are good players, we will put them in a position to help us win a lot of football games. Part of me wonders if he's just lying here, smokescreen season, like maybe they are going to go after a receiver that can run a 4.2 40 and look to replace Hill as closely as they possibly can. I think of Christian Watson. He ran a 4.2. Jamison Williams ran like a 4.4, and there are others. The only issue here, which most of you know as I mention these names, they're probably not going to be there late in round one. They more than likely will be gone. So yeah, either the Chiefs are trading up like rumors have for a receiver, which I don't know if they're going to do, or yeah, maybe some other scenario plays out there. On the other hand, though, maybe Veach is telling the truth here, and they aren't worried about replacing that speed as closely as they can. I personally am very curious to see where they go with wide receiver choices in the draft, because after next season, the only receiver we will have under contract still, at least from the starting lineup guys, would be MVS. Juju and McColl will both be free agents. Juju's on a 1-year deal, and then McColl's on the last year of his deal as well. So, the Chiefs have to be thinking about that and considering it when looking at the draft. And then Veach continues in his answer here and mentions something that I think is important.
I also think that sometimes, or forgetting, I guess, how great of a coach Andy Reid is. He's won with all type of quarterbacks and all different offensive schemes, and our staff is very dynamic. And look, we had Tyreek Hill, and we were able to implement a lot of RPO stuff and a lot of vertical attack stuff, but it doesn't mean when you have a talent like Pat Mahomes and a Hall of Fame coach like Andy that you can't, rewire and retweak, your offense and how you do things. And there's multiple ways that, we've scored points over the years.
So yeah, this was worth talking about for a second here, because it's important to remember the fact that Andy Reid has been working with multiple variations of offenses throughout his coaching career, and he's been able to find success over these years in spite of talent rotating in and out of the roster. With Mahomes at the helm and Andy Reid's mind, his cranium in the mix, it's going to be fine. We will adapt, we will grow, and it'll definitely look a lot different with Tyreek gone, but we will still find ways to win. I'm confident of that. And speaking of winning, I somehow stumbled across this shortly before recording this morning, but it looks like there was an invitational golf tournament yesterday called the 8 a.m. Golf Invitational, featuring some celebrities and different athletes. It was hosted by Justin Timberlake, and his partner was Jimmy Fallon. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce were a team. Then you have J.J. Watt and T.J. Watt, Tim Clark and Zach Ertz, and honestly a bunch of other people that I do not know who they are. I think some are actors, some might be in the golf scene in some capacity, but I follow golf as much as I follow any other sport outside of the NFL, and that is pretty much not at all. So anyway, I bring this up because the winners of the entire invitational were
Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
So yeah, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce won it all. They shot 18 under to win by one shot over Catherine Newton and Chase Crawford. No idea who they are, but hey, they got second. So yeah, Kelce and Mahomes continue life in the offseason getting these dubs. Let's go champs. And then since we're on the subject of events, Justin Reid was in that charity dodgeball event yesterday, and it looks like it was a fun turnout. I can't really find any info on how it went other than a few video clips from Aaron Wilson of Pro Football Network on Twitter. If I find out how much was raised or who won, I'll definitely let y'all know. But I do have a clip here of Justin Reid taking a rare L. But hopefully that was a one-off and they ended up winning anyway. Both this dodgeball event and the golf invitational, all in good off-season fun. And then John Dillon from DraftWire pieced together a bunch of recent mock drafts for the Chiefs' 29th and 30th pick in round 1. And here is who they have us taking. For pick 29, I see edge George Karlaftis and wide receiver Jahan Dotson on there a couple times. I see safety Daxon Hill, cornerback Khair Elam, as well as defensive back Jalen Petrie. Every time I hear Petrie, I think of Land Before Time.
Who are you?
Well, my name Petrie.
Petrie, huh? Funny name.
Anyway, Chris Trapasso from CBS Sports has us selecting an offensive lineman with pick 29.
What the heck has this guy been smoking?
Are you high right now?
Slightly.
I mean, I don't mind beefing up the O-line, especially right tackle, getting some depth there, and I think that's going to happen. But with our first pick, are you out of your mind, good sir? No, thank you. And then for pick 30, I see defensive tackle Devontae Wyatt, edge David Ojabo, wide receivers Traylon Burks, George Pickens, and Christian Watson, and cornerback Kyler Gordon is on there a couple times as well. Do you guys like any of these selections? That is my question to you all. If you had to pick from this list, who would you pick? Or if you have other options and ideas, give me your thoughts there. If I had to pick here from this list personally, I don't know, give me Daxton Hill, give me George Pickens if the Chiefs think his ACL injury recovery is going great. Another versatile piece in the secondary of our defense, and then a true outside receiver that's capable of potentially being wide receiver 1. I dig it for sure, but I wouldn't be mad if they went after an edge. But the question is, who's really going to be there that's going to make a big impact? I mean, David Ojabo maybe, but his injury is a question mark for me at least. Mock drafts are just whatever to me most times because who really knows what's going to happen come draft day? I've heard the Chiefs could trade into the teens, even the lower teens, for an edge if the right person falls. Or honestly, Brett Veach has even hinted at being willing to trade back to acquire more picks in the 30 to 60 range if they don't like who is still there. Veach also said they have around 16 to 18 guys on their round 1 draft board. So if all those guys are off the table, I could see them either just staying put at 29 and 30, or like I said, possibly trading back to collect more 30 through 60 assets. And then the series continues here with the Chiefs releasing another article on draft picks in Chiefs history. And this one is on third rounders. Every third round pick in Chiefs history, and there are some absolute gems in here that stand out to me at least. I see Will Shields in 1993, Dustin Colquitt in 2005, Jamal Charles in 2008, Justin Houston in 2011, Travis Kelce the Man in 2013, Kareem Hunt.
Gosh dang it. Why'd you have to do that to us, Kareem Hunt?
In 2017, and the 3 most recent years are Derek Nottie and Dorian O'Daniel in 2018, Khalen Saunders in 2019, and Lucas Niang in 2020. Obviously, most of the names I listed here in the third round have been big wins. I'm talking big old W's. Travis Kelce is one of the greatest to ever do it. Jamal Charles is our all-time leading rusher. Will Shields has 12 Pro Bowl nominations and played in 224 games for the Chiefs, second to only punter Dustin Colquitt, who played in 238. And if we look at our recent selections, Derek Nottie has played pretty well for us. I believe Dorian O'Daniel is now a free agent. And then you have Khalen Saunders, who has been quiet really over the past few seasons. Niang, I noted yesterday via Brett Veach's presser that his recovery is going well, and I certainly hope he's back at it for this season for sure. Who is your favorite third round pick in Chiefs history? Let me know in the comments below, as we have some good ones. And since I mentioned Khalen Saunders here on this list, I want to talk about him for just a second, because over the past couple of days, he's had a few things to say on Twitter. He says this: my career so far, rookie year, 303 snaps, Super Bowl champ. Year 2, elbow dislocation, 74 snaps, 52 snaps versus LA at middle linebacker. You guys remember that? That's crazy. Year 3, 144 snaps, weeks 1 through 7, tweaked my knee in week 7, sit out the following week, and pulled from lineup for the year. Yup, I suck. Hope I don't suck this year. He followed up to this saying, I gave up on the, quote, telling y'all what I'ma do road a long time ago. Y'all ain't gonna believe me anyway. Besides, people gonna hate on you for any reason they choose. Only thing I can promise for this year is that I ain't messing around. Period. Tired of this. Then he said, enough of this happy-ish though. My energy in Arrowhead this year will be unmatched. Y'all gonna see I love this game more than 80% of the jabronis out there. Talking rock lingo over here.
You jabronis hit the jackpot.
So yeah, Khalen Saunders has spoken. Will this be his year? I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe he'll get his shot. I know he is basically not sure why he was sat after week 7, didn't get back in the lineup, but it's obvious to me that that reason would be is because the coaches thought they had other people that were performing better. So yeah, time will tell there. And then, did you guys recently hear DeSean Jackson saying he'd be open to playing another year if it was the right offensive fit with the right QB? Yeah, in a recent interview, the 35-year-old or almost 35-year-old receiver who's played for 5 teams over the course of 14 or so years mentioned it could be for the Browns as they now have Deshaun Watson, or the Packers as they have the back-to-back MVP Rodgers, maybe the Broncos who now have Russell Wilson, or even the Chiefs were thrown in there as we have one of the best in the league, Patrick Mahomes. Jackson does have a history with Andy Reid as well, as he used to play for him in Philly, but the guy is 35 years old. I would seriously doubt the Chiefs would bring him in. Matt Connor from Arrowhead Addict says it best here about DeSean Jackson's desire to play for another elite offense. In the end, Jackson can hold out all the hopes he wants, but the NFL is a business, and it's often hard to line up where a player wants to play, especially late in his career, with what a team is looking for. Yeah, guys, I personally am going to vote a no, give a hard pass on Jackson coming over to the Chiefs. He's had a legendary career, don't get me wrong, but I do not think he'd be a fit for what we are needing here in KC. What do you guys think about that, or anything else I covered today? Anything interesting? What are your thoughts on the draft and where we should go as a team as far as our picks are concerned? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm super active in there, and let's talk about it. And make sure to sub for more daily news like this, and then check out this video here from the previous day's news in case you missed it. So until next time, let's go. How about those